skill movement. But let me start by saying something. This video is for everybody, regardless of your level. So one of the things that happens is with these high skill movements, we, both athletes and coaches, are a little bit intimidated by them, and so we don't practice them. We're like, if I don't have a pull-up, why am I gonna practice this very high-end skill that I'm not anywhere close to have? And I'll tell you something. I think practicing these high-level skills gives you opportunities to practice things that otherwise you wouldn't, right? And so, for example, I think about ring muscle ups. So it's often the case that you hear coaches saying, like, if you don't have this amount of pull-ups and this amount of ring dips, don't practice ring muscle ups. And that usually comes from a good place, that is safety. If you don't have the, like, if you don't have a good support position, there's no gain in trying to keep yourself into a muscle up. That's one thing. But that regardless of that, if you don't practice the transition of a muscle up, you're gonna be missing this rotation here that happens when I do a muscle up, right? And so even though you shouldn't be like just trying to force yourself into a muscle up, you can still do ring dips, baby muscle ups, or transitions, or even banded muscle ups and ring dips, right? Like pull-ups, dips, transitions, and practicing those aspects, those parts of the higher skill will be productive for everybody, right? And so we don't have to wait to a certain level to practice those aspects of that particular skill. And that applies to the backward roll. So let me start by showing you a backward roll performed by a person that does it very well. Mine is not very technical proficient, so I want you to see a good one. Awesome. Now that you saw that one, let's talk about the movement and let's break the movement into parts. And based on those parts, we'll decide on scaling options. So the first part of the roll to support that you saw in that video there is to be able to come from a hang position into an inverted tuck hold, right? So I'm going to be here, and then I need to be able to come to this second position in which there's a tuck, I'm tuck, right? Here, and then I'm here, very high. So that's my second position. So first transition from here to here, and then what the roll itself, and then I'm gonna finish in this my last position, the support position. So those are all the parts, and of course the harder part is the transition from the tuck hold into the support position, in which I have to open my hands in a little bit of a weird way. Good, those are the aspects of the lift of the skill, and those are the things that we're gonna be tracking when we're doing our scaling. So I'm gonna give you 3 templates to scale today, and let's start by the most challenging, and then we'll go to the easier ones. So this is the most challenging one. We're gonna use the band. The band is gonna keep the rings close together, which is the harder part as you pull. It might make a little bit, if you don't have a lot of height, it might make a little bit the transition a little bit harder. That's fine. Let me show you one repetition, then we'll talk about the other scaling options. So make sure that you have good false grip there on the band. Hold the band with both hands there. Here. That's it. Finishing support. Good. That's our first scaling option. This is a great scaling option for athletes that have a pull over the bar, and that probably have a super good rings to chest chin up, right? These athletes are gonna be very close to a strict ring muscle up, or that have strict ring muscle ups. Good. That is the first one. If you're an athlete that is working on this progression and you get very good at it, just decrease the amount of tension that you have with the band and play with the height of the rings. And if you start feeling very confident, then go for the full skill by using a good rig, a good keep swing, right? And so see where you are. Good. Our second scaling option will be to mix a couple of things. So the first thing that we're going to mix is a inverted tuck ring rules. I just want to move the band out of the way. So you'll set yourself up in the following manner. You're gonna come here, full extension of the arms, ball up, and keep a very nice tuck hold, and just pull yourself up. Mixing this with a skin the cat and with supports, holds, and ring keep swings will be an awesome set of 4 movements that you could practice in this session, doing different sets there to aid you with your progression. The skin the cat will help you with like the fear of going around the rings, right? So you're gonna come here and just this transition for most athletes is very challenging, and then you can come back up and so on. And so a skin the cat will be a good addition to the practice today, even if it's not a skill that is going to transfer directly into the backward roll, right? Good. So inverted tuck rows, skin the cats, support holds, and ring keep swings. And then for athletes that cannot produce these movements, I will go to lower rings, and I will start them with probably try to just get into using a band, as you see there, just to see I can get them to feel more confident into going into a tuck hold there. You'll have to put the band on your lower back, not on your butt like I was doing there. And so just making sure that they can hold themselves in this position is gonna be a good drill, and then see if they can actually pull themselves up, right? That will be the first drill. And the second drill that I will have with these athletes will be also to work on that support position. For many of those athletes, that's gonna be very challenging. And actually today, I will use the band just to give them a little bit of ring practice, and use that band not so that they're like over that band, but that band helps them keep the rings close together, and that will decrease a little bit the difficulty. Make them play with the feet if they need to have a little bit more of support. And yeah, mixing those inverted tuck holds with this support will be a very, very, very good scaling option for many of your athletes there. That is it. Those are just some ideas for your scaling options. Play with it, have fun. Skill day is best day. That is it.